Hi, I'm Loli, and I'm so glad you are here. This video is part of the Just Our Imagination challenge, and this month we are challenged to use cork, twine, and dowels on our DIYs. And here we go with the first inspiration. We are starting this project with a balloon. I'm going to go ahead and blow it up as you see right there and tie it off. Then I took some jute twine and I'm going to wrap it on all different directions onto the balloon. Once it is as full as I want, I'm going to go ahead and cut the twine off, and I'm going to tuck it into the other twines, doing circles around a couple of times. And now we're going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to add it to the top of here. I should have watered it down first. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't do it, but anyway. I spread it around as best I could, and then I took a little bottle from Dollar Tree and I put equal amount of water and Mod Podge, and you'll see me in a second using that to cover the rest of my jute wall. And then I set it aside to dry for a couple of days. I took my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and put it inside there and pop that balloon. And I'm just going to wiggle it out nice and easy. Then I took my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut a circle on one of the sides of the ball. And then I trimmed up the jagged edges using some scissors. Then I used this wood round and this circle from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some of this Waverly antique wax and this baby wipe and stain the wood round with it. And this circle, I'm going to go ahead and paint it with this white paint, acrylic paint from Apple Barrel. Now it's time to assemble this piece. I took the wood round base and I'm going to take some tumbling tower blocks to stand up the circle. As you see there, I use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to attach these. And I did stain two sides of the blocks prior to, so I was able to have the same finish as the wood round. And I dropped it. Look at that. Oh my God, guys, I burned myself, but it wasn't too bad. So I just went over and continued with the piece, and then the same thing as you see there, I left two pieces of the wood without being painted, so we have a better adhesion. Now we're going to take some more of the jute cord and I'm going to go ahead and press a hole right in the center at the top of my yarn cave, and I'm going to thread that jute cord right into that hole, and then I'm going to come out in a different hole so I'm able to tie it at the top. And friends, if you enjoyed this video so far, please don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up. So then I'm just going to trim the cord as you see there, and I tied it to the top of the round. Now I'm going to add some hot glue to the entrance and glue these little pieces from a pick that I got at Dollar Tree all around that opening. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a goal of reaching 2,500 subscribers by the end of January. If you can help me, I will really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and join the Loli Days Creations family. All right, my friends, now we're going to take this piece of fern that I also got from Dollar Tree and just going to cut them into individual pieces as you see there, and we're going to glue it on the bottom of this ring. So I added a nice amount of hot glue there, and here I'm pressing two different pieces onto that area. I'm holding it in place until it dries, and now I'm going to take this jute, actually burlap fabric from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to scrunch it together as you see right there, and I'm going to create a bow. Friends, I'm usually a very private person. I really don't share my personal things on social media, but I'm asking for some prayers for my husband. He's right now in the hospital, and he has an infection that has spread his blood, and I'm a bit nervous. And there is strength in numbers when it comes to prayers. So please pray for him. As Jesus said, if two or more are gathered in my name, I will be there in the midst of them. So please continue to pray. Alright guys, then I glued the fern onto the round as you see right there to secure it in place, and then I made a jute cord bow and glued it on top of the other bow. I created another bow and I'm gluing it to the top of the round as you see there, and I'm adding some of the greenery from the same pick to each side of the bow. The little burlap cake was going all over the place, so I'm going to use this dowel rod to stabilize it. I measured how much I needed, trimmed it off using the snips, and I'm going to stain it using this Waverly antique wax. Then I put it through the little cave as you see there, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom section on, adding a lot of hot glue. Then I place it out through the hole of the twine ball, and we're going to stick it in by adding a whole bunch of hot glue in the bottom and holding it in place until it dries. Then I added some more hot glue to the bottom of the dowel just to make sure that it was nicely secured. And then I wanted to put this in there. I put it in there, but then I changed my mind. So you'll see in a second that I went for a regular tea light. And this is how it turned out. Let me know what you think. As I mentioned earlier, today's video is part of the Just Over Imagination challenge that is hosted monthly by Brenda from Rustic DIY and by Kathy Jo from Kathy Jo DIY. And I have the privilege of being the guest host this month. And the link to our channels and to the playlist will be linked in the description box below and also pinned in the comments. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure that you head on over to the channel and to the playlist and show everyone some love. For the next inspiration today, I'm going to use 2 of these candle holders or hurricane vases from Dollar Tree and some caulking. So I'm going to take the caulking and put it in the middle as you see there, and then I'm bringing it down lower to resemble little snow peaks. And then I added some of this glitter that I got from Dollar Tree. It's fine glitter in the color white, and I just try to tap it down onto the caulking. I repeated the same process with the top of the same vase, and this is what it was looking like so far. Then I repeated the same process, but I only did it in the top with the second vase, and I added the same sparkle. Here I'm removing that excess glitter, and I'm just making sure that I have some or enough of that glitter on there, and I didn't, so I took some of this Puzzle Saver from Dollar Tree and I'm adding it in all the areas where the sparkle was, and I'm adding more glitter on top to make this look more sparkly. And I added some Puzzle Saver to the glass as well. I didn't have any caulking, and I added a light dusting of the glitter just to make it look more frosty. Then I took 2 of these candle holders from Dollar Tree and I added E6000 to one, and then I ran out of it. So for the other one, I used some super glue. So what I'm going to do is glue each one of the vases to each one of the candle holders. You will see here when I'm done that I took off the bottom section of the caulking from that first vase that I did. I liked better how this one that I have on here looked, so I made them to match. Then I dust off the excess glitter using this new brush that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take a little bit more of that Puzzle Saver and put it on the entire glass and give it a little bit more of a dusting with that glitter because I did love the little frosty look. Added some diamond charms to it, some water and a floating candle, and look how cute this turned out. Let me know what you think. For our next inspiration, we're going to be using one of these Snowflake NDF boards from Dollar Tree and some caulking. I added the caulking to the entire front of the snowflake, and then I use a little bit of water on my fingers to just spread it around and make the surface nice and smooth. My friends, if you have been enjoying this video so far, please make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and while you're there, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video. All these things are free and they mean the world to me. With that being said, I took some of this apple barrel white paint and I completely covered the caulking once it was dry. And while that paint was still wet, we're going to add some glitter to the entire thing. Here I'm just checking out to make sure that it's nice and dry, and this will pat it in. And then I'm going to take some of this spray on adhesive from Dollar Tree and spray it on the entire thing. And then I added even more sparkle by adding some more of that glitter. And this is what it was looking like so far. Then I took a dowel rod from Dollar Tree, painted it or stained it with my Waverly chalk paint, and we are going to glue it to the back of our our snowflake. And I'm just going to hold it in place and then add some more extra hot glue to the top in those sections that are thicker so it holds better. Then I took one of these planters from Dollar Tree and I'm going to use my white apple barrel paint and then give it like a dry brush. And then here I'm coming in with the same brush but without any additional paint, just to give it a nice distressed look. But then I decided that I wanted it brighter, so I came in with another coat of that white apple barrel, but leaving some areas distressed. Once it all dried, I took some of this floral foam from Dollar Tree, glued it to the bottom of my planter, and then stuck the dye rod with the snowflake right in there, and added some hot glue around the base to make sure that it stayed in place. And then we're going to fill up that top portion of the vase with some leftover paper that I use for craft and plastic stuff to just fill it up. And then I'm going to take some Spanish moss and cover that up with it. Then clean up the mess that I left behind. This little vacuum is a lifesaver. Alright, so then I took some of these sticks that I got from Dollar Tree. I used a total of 4, and I put them in like 4, let's say north, south, east, and west of the snowflake. And I'm just opening it up so it looks fuller. This was looking cute, but I want a little more. So I took some of these picks that I got from Walmart on clearance, and I'm going to use 2 of them. I just open them up, as you see right there, place them in the middle, and I'm going to just spread them around in between the different pieces of pine, just to make this look nice and uniform. And I repeated the same process with the other side. Then I took some jute cord and I wrapped it around the top section of the planter twice, and then I did a knot. I held it in place with a little bit of hot glue so it wouldn't keep falling on me. And then once I did a double knot, I'm going to create 2 shoelace bows. I tied one up first and adjusted it. If you see there, I'm just adding some hot glue as I go just to keep things in place. And then here I'm creating the other shoelace bow right on top of the other one. I'm adjusting my pieces. I'm going to cut off that excess, and that is it for this one. It came out stunning. The picture doesn't give it justice. All right, for the next inspiration, we're going to use this sweater cutout that I got from Woodpecker's Craft. I'm going to paint it with 2 coats of my white apple barrel paint, and we're going to use some of this tissue paper that I got from Dollar Tree. Here I'm just measuring how much I'm going to need and folding it so I know where to cut. And I'm going to trim this piece according to those measures. And I'm going to place it to the side. Then I took one of my Artisa paint pens and I am tracing in some areas here that I already have those lines from the wood showing through. And I'm using those lines to guide me through the entire surface. I'm just making sure to keep my lines as even and as neat as possible. I repeated the same process with the top section. I actually traced 2 lines. Here is the top one, and made sure to have as steady a hand as I could, but as I said earlier, I used the lines that were already in the board to guide me. And I also made one at the bottom of it. But first here, I wanted to see exactly where I needed to trim my tissue a little bit lower, so I just folded it there. So I will cut it at that section. I folded it and wet the little ends a little bit and then tore it off, as you see right there. But I wanted to define the other line that comes underneath, so I painted it in, and this is going to become the boundaries for me to know where I'm going to add my Mod Podge so I can add the tissue paper down there. I spread it out evenly and not too thick, and I just let it be tacky before I place my paper right there, having that line as a guide. And I also had traced that curvature in the paper and cut it out. And here I'm going to take my parchment paper and my heat press, and we're going to press it down to make sure that this adheres nicely and that it has no wrinkles. Then I took this permanent marker that I got from a set at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to add it to that top section right here. I'm just using it to outline. I thought this color was very complementary to the patterns on the tissue paper, and I added it to all these sections as you see here. I was liking it, but I was still a little bit hesitant, and actually I it helped me create these lines right here, and it also helped me weld those edges where the tissue paper was, just to tie everything together. Using my Artisa paint pen, I came in here trying to define the sleeves of the little sweater. So I'm just going to add it all the way down alongside the paper, but I changed my mind and I painted everything back with this ocean color from Waverly. I paint a couple more stripes on each one of the sleeves. Again, making sure that everything was nice and straight and symmetrical. And what I did to this side, I did to the other side as well. Alright friends, if you're still with me this far into the video, thank you so much for sticking with me. Leave me a snowflake emoji so I know who you are. And if you have not subscribed yet, guys, let's commit. So to add a word to this sweater, I use these rub and transfers from Dollar Tree to spell warm and cozy. I'm just going to rub them down. I usually just lift up the plastic a little bit as I rub it down, and this is the easiest way to use these rub and transfers from Dollar Tree. I find that it's easier to rub and lift as you go to get it in place. So then I took one of these signs that I got from Family Dollar, and I'm going to paint it with 2 coats of this white apple barrel acrylic paint. Then I took some of these wooden snowflakes that I got from Woodpecker Crafts and painted it with the ocean color. We're going to take these and we're going to add it to our sign. But first we're going to take our sign, and I took that sweater that we made, and adding some hot glue, I'm going to glue it to the center of this wooden sign. Usually I use hot glue and wood glue, but I want to be able to change this if I desire. To cover the jute cord and the staple, I glue a snowflake to each one of them. I'm sorry that I'm a little bit out of frame right there, so you're not able to see that. And then I'm taking the rest of them and I'm just spreading them around and using some hot glue. I'm just putting them on different sides so it looks like just snow flurries coming down. If you're interested, the Woodpecker Craft link is in the description box below. And I didn't forget about the end, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in using a pencil, and then I come over it using a fine tip black paint. And of course, we're going to distress it using some ink from Waverly and a chip brush from Dollar Tree. And I did that all around the sign and also on the outer portions of the sweater. And that is it for this one. Let me know what you think. And here we go with the final reveal. My friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. And if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links. And don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist. If you would like to watch some more of my videos, here's a suggestion, and you are more than welcome to binge away with this playlist as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You're amazing. Bye.